Rachel, why are you wearing those?
I almost died, Joey!
But that was your fault. You knew what would happen when you drove an ambulance into a river.
I thought I could hear the sirens underwater, and it would be a beautiful song. Look, the point is, Joey, I don't have much time left on this planet, and I need to start cataloging every single moment as it happens.
So that's why you look like Shaun White.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, because starting now, I'm gonna have a video diary.
Rachel's video diary.
Mondays. Whoa! Oh, hello.
Later that day.
Rachel, after you ran that ambulance into the Charles, we kind of think like your image could need improving.
I don't care.
Anyway, charity. We were contacted by the Cleft Palate Foundation and they need a spokeswoman. Are you interested?
And have people think I support ugliness? I don't think so.
The state wants to organize its first ever all-deaf children's choir. They just need you to pop into their last benefits and have the money to compensate the organization's expenses. Are you in?
If I couldn't make it on Radio Disney, then why should they?
We also got a call about developing a surgery to transplant big old Jew noses onto pugs, but that seems like something that you would...
Brilliant!
Oh.
So they can be adorable and breathe at the same time. I'll do the honors. Surgically.
Later that day.
Guys, we had an idea. You know how my mouth is full of cysts?
Yeah, that's gross.
Well, we thought we'd make the best of it. We thought that maybe we could shoot something where, like, Joey and I are the cysts, and we're two cysts that find out that we're related and we never knew, and we'll call it Sister Sister. And not, like, do the news anymore. Like, we'll have a show called Sister Sister.
No.
You made me touch your cyst.
No.
God damn it!
Lindsay's leaving.
What?
No.
Yeah.
No, it's stupid, no. So
I don't
stupid.
get it.
I have a health condition that we could make a show.
Yeah, you know what we should do on TV? Let's talk about how f***ing gross your mouth is. It's like your personality.
Slow down!
Guys!
Nipples are magnificent!
Guys, it's a pun.
Oh, yeah!
Oh,
Later that day.
You can't pee with me, Goggles. I'll see you in a second.
Yeah, awesome.
Joey?
Uh-oh.
Joey! Joey, no! Joey, no! No, Joey. Joey? The goggles choose you. You don't choose the goggles.
Welcome to Breaking News.
I'm beloved local femme fatale, Rachel Crow.
And I'm the friend you're pretty sure is the reincarnation of your grandparents' golden retriever, Joey McManus.
It's Friday night when we get to let loose, shake our hair in the face of authority figures, and report the news.
Whether we're promoting liberal malarkey, the gay agenda, or my candidacy for Dalai Lama 2018, it's a vulnerable position. Whatever we say should be perceived as absolute and obvious propaganda.
There's a lot that goes on right here in the studio to make sure that you are beautiful, talented, communist, wonderful, angelic, marked, loving, handsome, and or beautiful viewers adopt and applaud our specific stance on global affairs.
For instance, I surround myself with clocks because in contrast, my boyish features make you think I've conquered time.
The globe behind us makes you feel like we're the guardians of your beloved reality, the Atlas and the Hades guarding the gates to your present and your past.
And this desk suggests a traditional understanding of authority, even though underneath it, I'm not wearing pants.
He's wearing a kilt.
Born Irish, die Irish, dress Irish.
Kilts are Scottish.
That's what the media wants you to think.
I am the media.
Exactly. You see, you can't trust us, but do you know who you can trust?
Joseph Stalin.
Yes, but also
The
news. A woman who was abandoned as a baby in a Burger King bathroom 27 years ago is searching for her birth mother. Meanwhile, her birth mother is still searching for one more fix of heroin.
Mohammed Hussein has become the world's fastest nose typist, officially making him the world's least threatening Muhammad.
A Massachusetts court has ruled that taking upskirt shots of unsuspecting women in public is not illegal. Now, if all our female audience members would look under your seats, you'll find a dope-ass Polaroid of your butt.
A Florida family has been hospitalized after eating steak laced with LSD. But it's not the chef's fault, though. He's just an honest cluster of talking spiders trying to support a family.
This week, Ann Coulter said Republicans who consider immigration reform are stupid. Now, we at Breaking News would like to apologize for beginning a sentence with Ann Coulter thinks and then finishing that sentence.
A Michigan woman was found dead in her car, believed to have been there unnoticed for 5 years. Early signs show that she didn't kill herself, but it sounds like she really should have.
A sex tape of late-night legend Johnny Carson is being put on auction for private buyers.
Anyone who contributes to our Kickstarter will receive a list of the most popular names for Johnny Carson's penis, such as
Young Leno,
the Lady Husher,
the special sort of crouton,
Patrick,
the first lacrosse stick,
Ed McMahon Meat,
Blackfish,
a wonderful gift,
Dad Good Dick,
Dad Good Dick,
Spicy Mike.
and that's the news.
One thing that some people don't like about politics is the corruption.
Others of us think it's the only reason to get in the game.
Former Illinois senator and one of our beloved political correspondents, Colt Culkin, has been investigating the darker side of politics right here in Massachusetts. For more, we turn to Colt.
What does it mean to be an elected official? What does it mean to serve the people to whom you have been elected to serve them? Is it an honor, a duty, a friendship, or something more? And what do we do as citizens when the people who we've entrusted to keep us safe can't even lock the back door to our well-being? You've heard of Massachusetts Commonwealth Comptroller Martin Bennison. Perhaps you've heard him ascribe to words such as corruption, incompetence, or corruption competence. I'm disgraced Illinois State Senator Colt Culkin, and I'm here with a special investigative report on the pork-barreling comptroller who just can't stop skimming off the top. What would you say is the worst thing?
Martin Bennison.
What would you say is the worst thing in the world?
Why don't you say it? Martin Bennison.
What's the worst thing?
Worst thing is Martin Bennison.
Thank you. We have here an angry mob assembled to protest the corruption of Comptroller Martin Bennison. As you can see, Martin Bennison took America. He took America away from us, but we can get it back.
We've been getting fare increases, and that's really not good for the youth. I mean...
That's terrible that Martin Bennison did that. Martin Bennison is a bad man who does very bad things. Martin Bennison is a terrible human being and an incompetent lover. He's a blight upon this earth, and I wish he'd never been existed. They just keep going up. He just can't stop skimming off the top, ladies and gentlemen.
What you gotta do here is...
Martin Bennison killed my fish. I can't prove it, but I know it happened.
Would that help a lot?
I'm sure that would help a lot, especially with the corruption of our many elected officials. It would make life a lot easier.
Yeah, because if you...
Martin Bennison got Freaks and Geeks canceled, and I'm still not over it.
What sense does that make?
Another raw deal from Martin Bennison. Thanks, Bennison. Thanks, Bennison. Bennison! Thanks, Benison. Thanks a lot, Benison. Thanks a lot. That'll be great if I want to stop. Don't you deserve a better comptroller? A comptroller who listens to you. A comptroller who cares about the environment. A comptroller who's a friend to animals. You deserve Colt Culkin for Commonwealth Comptroller in 2016. But comptroller is not technically an elected position. So what you should do is write in a letter to Governor, I think, Mitt Romney, addressed to Department of Comptrolling saying, vote Colt Culkin, he should be elected on the letter. Colt Culkin for Commonwealth Comptroller 2016. I'm Colt Culkin and I approve this message.
Thanks, Colt. We're gonna take a quick break and then come back with a whole lot more news, so don't touch that girl. I mean dial.
Yeah, and why the hell do you still have a dial, you ancient piece of shit?
You're weird and old.
Joey, are you spreading mayonnaise on your hands again?
No, I told you I was done with that. This is SPF 40.
This is the 6th time today that you've done that. You could overdose.
Very funny. Look, I've been doing this for years and nothing is wrong with me.
Well,
so.
I'm gonna glaze over that blatant lie. What do you think SPF stands for, Jojo?
Stinky punk farts?
Not even close.
Whatever, it protects me from the sun. I burn so easily.
It's winter and we are indoors.
Well, the lights are super bright, and also this block makes my hands feel as smooth as a baby's bottom.
You want your hands to have the same texture as a baby's butt?
Okay, well, when you say it like that, it sounds really, really weird.
It's really weird. This is such a great transition spot because something that's almost as weird as Joey is condom slogans.
Parents at Boston public schools are up in arms over a recent condom controversy.
They're upset that the free condoms being circulated to high school students are packaged in wrappers with phrases such as tasty one.
Hump one.
Or one lucky lady.
Essentially, the condoms are promoting monogamy in a culture where you shouldn't be limited to just one sexual partner.
Joey? Sorry, I was answering the question on everyone's mind. Who's one person whose spleen you plan to use as a hat one day? Anyway, here to talk about this pressing prophylactic issue, Boston PTA spokesman Mark Gooten.
Now, Mr. Gooten.
Joey, please. Mr. Gooten's my cat. Call me Dad.
You want us to call you Dad?
Yes. Think of me as like a hip happenadad. I know about Pitbull and the rap artist Flo Rida, and sometimes when I'm feeling risky, I walk around with my shirt untucked.
All right, Dad. Oh my God, that feels so right.
Joey, stop trying to replace your father with our guest. Just begin a pole dancing career like the rest of us. Now, Dad, I understand that you're upset about the condoms that Boston public schools have been handing out.
Look, I get that kids are gonna have sex, and that is so cool. But I don't think that I should mention it on the condoms, you know? These are children we're talking about, minors even.
So you think it's inappropriate for a kid who's picking up a condom which he's going to use for sex to read the phrase hump one?
Yeah. I get it that 15-year-olds but I don't think they should know what hump means.
What do you think should be written on these condoms, if not encouragement for these children prepping for prom?
I think they should have reminders that sex is a big deal, especially if you're fertile.
So what would you have them say?
Something like, diapers are expensive, or do you even know where that pussy's been? Or what do you want more, sex or a college degree? Actually, that one might not be so good. The value of a college degree is rapidly declining.
Why do you want these phrases on there? Don't you think your kids will be embarrassed?
Oh, I don't have any kids.
You don't have children? You're the head of the PTA.
Well, where else am I supposed to meet men my age who care about America's youth?
I can't believe that you don't have kids. You're such a warm presence. I mean, every time you look at me, I feel like you're one syllable away from asking me to go play catch with you.
He is not your father, Joey. Mark. Okay, Dad, I'm sorry. Why don't you have any kids?
Well, funny story. In my youth, I bought a lifetime supply of condoms, but sometimes I didn't want to use them because, let's be honest, they make sex pointless and gross. So I wrote little reminders on them to remind me why condoms are so important.
Like what?
Oh, just the names of all my friends who had chlamydia.
So you've just been using those same condoms ever since?
That's why I've got no kids. Always protected because I can never forget my friends' mistakes.
You know, if you want kids, you could always just find a clean partner and have sex without a condom, right?
Oh, but also I'm sterile.
Oh, just like my real dad.
Before I go, I just wanted to give you something that my dad gave me when I was a kid. You're growing up, champ.
Seriously?
Rachel.
I have a father.
Well, you're blossoming into the woman I always knew you would.
We just met. Mark, the very last of the Gootens, everybody.
Bye, Dad.
Well, it's time for a commercial break.
And while you're enjoying commercials, we'll be holding a brief candlelight vigil in memory of entertainment for the sake of entertainment, rather than to support a soul-sucking capitalist machine.
Enjoy.
All right, your turn. Now, Jackie Kennedy, John F. Kennedy, and the band The Dead Kennedys.
Give me something harder next time, Joey. Marry Jackie Kennedy. I would have killed John F. Kennedy, but the U.S. government already took care of that. Thank you. And that just leaves the band, The Dead Kennedys, who have already...
And we're back from commercial.
Welcome back. Sarah Palin recently gave a speech at the Conservative Political Action Conference, and it was terrible.
Terrible.
Just terrible.
Hey,
Hi. Who are you?
I'm Martin. I wrote that speech.
Oh, geez. Well, sorry for trashing your work, Martin, but I mean, you have to admit that Sarah's hacky rendition of Green Eggs and Ham was pretty hard to watch.
I'm not sorry.
Agreed, but you should have heard that speech before I edited it, okay? And I actually just so happen to have the rough draft with me right here. Sarah gave it to me.
Convenient.
Isn't it? Okay, so here's the opening line of the speech.
This Uncle Sam, I do not like his healthcare scam.
And the crowd loved it. But on the rough draft, Sarah just wrote, Obama studied law at Harvard, and I studied making babies in a tundra.
Wow.
Yeah. And then there's this one.
I do not like these dirty crooks or how they lie and cook the books.
Originally, she just wrote Congress, more like convicts, and then in person demanded that I high-five her.
No.
Yeah. In fact, there was only one line that actually rhymed in the initial draft, and I turned it into this.
I do not like reporter smug replies when I complain about their lives.
Originally, it said, Katie Couric is a bitch who makes my trigger finger itch. And then next to it, in red pen, she wrote, tone down your call.
I don't know, I kind of like it.
After that, she just started listing things she doesn't like. Let's see, Obama, Democrats, the liberal media, the gays, Hillary, expletive, Rodham, Rachel, expletive, Clinton, weak uteruses, and women in politics. And then beneath that, she just wrote a recipe for cupcakes.
Ooh, what was the recipe?
Not important.
Good luck, Martin. You're doing God's work, son.
And how come I wake up screaming every night?
Who knows? Martin, everybody. Next up, our field correspondents Matt Newman and Zach Arch have a thoroughly news-based treat for you.
And while you enjoy their segment, we have a few questions for you to keep in mind.
If they're only handsome in certain lighting, then are they really handsome?
Is Zach Arch Banksy? Oh, yeah.
Why won't Matt stop texting me about how good the Lego movie was?
Who's a good boy?
How many?
What?
How?
Okay. Now there's just a question mark that is on the teleprompter. I don't know how to read that.
Take it away, guys.
Hey, where are you? You guys are supposed to be in studio today. What up? Sit down! Sit down! So here's the scoop. The executive producers hated the segment.
Why? Why did they say it was so bad?
It's so mean of them and unprofessional.
You guys did awful interviews. You
Whoa.
forgot everybody's name. You were drinking in the middle of one. It was pretty awful.
Yeah, it was a cold. I had a cold.
Look, the fact of the matter is that you guys are not allowed out in the street anymore. You guys are going back to studio, okay?
No.
No, you,
I like that.
I like the thought of being in the studio.
That's why are we here? Let's go upstairs.
no, this is your studio. This is the studio.
This is the studio.
This is a studio?
This is the studio.
After it was set ablaze.
I think it looks pretty good, guys. I think there's plenty
You
of
think this
potential in
looks
place.
good?
What are you talking
If
about?
I was like a nanny with white gloves, I would come in here and I'd do one of those things and I would just have at
I'm
it.
sorry you guys are disappointed, but now look at this. All right? You guys have complete creative control of this place.
We can do anything.
Yeah.
We could pack this room full of women and then just kick them out.
We could wear life vests whenever we wanted.
We could fill the entire room up with backpacks and then sell them.
Yep.
We could sell it.
We could just make this into
This could be our backpack storage area.
Sure.
We just get to make any decision that we want
You
right
get
now.
to make any decision that
Okay.
you want.
Well,
I know exactly.
first decision we're gonna make is you're fired.
Goodbye.
Bye, Taylor.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, 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 bye.
Go yourselves. Have fun.
God.
That guy.
That was exciting, but still.
Yeah. This guy. Sorry, Matt.
Me?
Welcome to Breaking News.
Hello, welcome to Breaking News. I'm Matthew Newman.
And I'm Zach Arch, and here are tonight's top stories.
A commercial flight carrying over 200 people disappeared over the Pacific Ocean last week. Hopefully on board, Miley Cyrus's music.
A counterfeit beauty product ring has been shut down. Talk about undercover girl.
An Alabama woman who lived with her husband who is dead for weeks because she had Alzheimer's. I don't feel comfortable.
That's sad. We should. Do you want to just like?
We should move on.
Do you want to do a different one?
Welcome to Shoe News. Here to talk about his take on fashion is fashion guru and wacky stand-up comic Mark Sanderson. So, Mark, what's your favorite type of shoe to wear during the winter?
Winter. Uggs. All right, and now we shoot it out to Matt in the studio, who's covering the energy crisis. Matt, how's it going?
The results might shock you.
Thanks for shining the light on that, Matt.
Ow!
Tonight's mouth-to-mouth topic.
Taylor!
How do we feel about him?
F*** 'em! Remember?
Honestly, I've got a 1-year-old at home, and she's looking for me every night. And she always smiles for me. And oh, you guys.
We came to say we apologize.
We broke your GoPro and we're really sorry and we feel bad.
We were throwing it around. We don't have to go into it.
Thank you guys for being honest. I'm glad you.
Whoa! No. We're not apologizing to you. We're apologizing to Matt. It's his camera. He's the cameraman. We broke his camera, not your camera.
You. Camera.
No!
No!
Oh, it's your camera?
Wham! Why would we ever apologize to you?
Who the f*** are you?
You,
Taylor.
You piece of shit. Yeah, why don't you readjust yourself in your sit-down chair, you c***. You. We're sorry, Matt. You wish.
Yeah, get a home.
I don't. Do I deserve that? Do I deserve?
You!
And now it's time for a segment that also coincidentally shares the same name as my positioning in my Wednesday night church group's creative take on the human centipede, mouth to mouth.
I thought you said your church group did Bible study on Wednesday nights.
Oh, we do. It's like my youth pastor always says before he sews his mouth to mine, if you don't love the Lord, then get the out of this human centipede.
Due to some recent and confidential events that have led Joey and I to spend time behind bars,
We thought Ash Wednesday involved a lot more arson.
we've been thinking a lot about prisons and the way they're run here, which leads us to this episode's mouth-to-mouth segment on private versus public prisons.
Personally, I think that prisons should be privatized.
No, they should be public.
The government can't afford to continue funding new jails. Our country is in a lot of debt right now, and hiring outside private correction companies will help us to avoid the extra cost of government regulations and employee benefits.
Oh, you want to save money, Joey? You know who else likes saving money? My mother. She uses coupons for everything. And then one time, she buys an off-brand yogurt because she had a coupon for it, and that yogurt was later recalled after it was discovered it contained an unhealthy amount of hormones in the ingredients.
So, what is your point?
My point, sweet JoJo, is that I ate that yogurt before it was recalled, and it caused me to have an unfortunate and very untimely sexual awakening at a Dave & Buster's.
Still don't understand.
What I'm saying is a good deal always comes at some cost. If prisons are privatized, then you're placing an industry that is within the public's interests under private control and regulation.
Are we just gonna glaze over the whole Dave and Buster story? Or...
Yeah, I humped a pinball machine, big deal. What you should be thinking about is the prison industrial complex. Privately owned prisons create a culture that encourages higher incarceration rates in pursuit of a profit.
But we need these industries to create jobs and help stimulate the economy. The fact is, our government doesn't have the funds right now to accommodate the rising incarceration rates. Joe Biden tried starting a Kickstarter account, but he ended up just spending several hours on chat roulette instead.
Well, private prisons undermine the entire judicial, executive, and legislative processes, so that's not the answer.
Well, then what is?
We'll open up our own prisons. For us, it won't be about making a profit. The joy of it will be making grown men and women wear shower shoes.
Yes, and we'll fund our prison by exploiting America's love of flash mobs as well as our criminals' love of bar mitzvah-style line dancing when we make a viral video of our inmates dancing to the Cupid Shuffle.
Plus, we'll put these prisons on cruise ships. Mostly because I have a Groupon, but also because it'll combine your longtime love of maritime entertainment with my longtime love of corporal punishment.
With your Groupon and our well-choreographed inmates will be turning quite the profit.
And solving the issue of the prison industrial complex for America and the love of the prison game.
You're welcome, America.
Well, that's all for this episode of Breaking News.
We sure did learn a lot today. Like sometimes the right thing to do isn't always the easy thing to do.
And that your real friends are the ones who accept you for who you are.
And that cooperation, participation, and exclamation are all A-okay whether you win or lose.
And that whichever way the ball rolls, the truth is what makes you the real cool kid.
And even though you can buy a speedboat, no amount of money can buy a great dad.
Thank you. And on behalf of all of us here at Breaking News, have a lovely evening.